Hello sir, today I learned about this working with numeric data. So in this module, I learned that how precision works in MongoDB. Like how can we use precise value to ensure that we our data doesn't have any wrong information like wrong values of integers or decimals that we'll be using in our database. So to ensure that this module is very important, like how to use um, the Mongoose commands, like for the decimal or the float, sorry, for the decimal or the integer value, what to use and what not to use to get the precise value, to get the correct incremented value, to get the correct subtracted value. So for that, this whole module is covered. So first of all, I'll be talking about like we are first of all I want to say that we are using this MongoDB shell, Mongo shell, so which uses default language is JavaScript. You know that. So the values and the variables like the integers, like the values and the variables that are used um, will be they will act like the same as in JavaScript. Okay, so suppose we store integers and then it will also act like as we store integer value in JavaScript. So if we insert an integer like a equals to 1, okay? So then it will be stored in a floating point integer like double 64-bit floating point number. So floating point value, so not an integer value. Because as I told you that the Mongo shell will be using the JavaScript format only, and in JavaScript it is followed like that. And similarly, if we use Python driver or C++ driver or any other different language driver that we are using for the MongoDB, then if a equals to 1, then it will be stored as an integer value or the value that respect to which we are using the language that we are using in the driver. So suppose if there is Python, then a equals to 1, then 1 will be stored as an integer only. So that's how um, we'll be covering this in this module, like how in Mongo shell, that is in JavaScript, we can use the precise values and not get fooled by the not correct values. Okay. So first of all, I will show you like an example, like so, sorry, yeah. Use suppose company like a main one database I have created. Now in this, I'll be adding some data like db dot company data dot uh, dot insert one. Okay, now insert one, and then what should we insert? What do you want to insert? Like suppose a equals to 1. We are inserting this in the traditional way, like okay, with no with no this double inverted commas, no single inverted comma. We are inserting it in the hard way, like so that's like how integers are supposed to be stored. So you can see that it is accepted now. db dot company data dot find one, find only. Oh, sorry, I'm not. Why is it happening like that? No, sorry, I didn't want to stay. Uh, p equals to 1. Why is it showing like this? Hmm. dv.company. So dv.persons, suppose I create a new collection. insert insert one. Age, suppose we are inserting here like age as in like normal integer. Okay, we can see that our age is inserted. Okay, so what is this age 29? Like like this age 29 is inserted in the floating point 64-bit decimal form, as in as I said that it will be stored like in JavaScript. So suppose we want to see stats. Yeah, so we can see the stats of this age. Mm, and where we can see our required thing, like where is size. Hmm. Yeah, I think, yeah, here is size. The size is 31 here, we can see. Now suppose we store, first we will delete it. Hmm. So our database is empty now. Now we will insert age and in inverted commas now. Now we will see what will happen. And then find one, we can see that age is stored. Now, what if we see the stats? Yeah, we can see size is increased. Size has become 34. So here, when we are using inverted commas, like the the JavaScript is using the uh, what integer value. No, not the integer value. It is using the float value only. So it's like that. And suppose now, wait a second. Now, if we add drop this now, divisor constant dot insert one age number int. So this is how we have to insert. If we want to insert an integer value, this is how we will insert it in the JavaScript. We have to use this number int operator, and the thing and the number should be inside this inverted commas. If a number is not inside the inverted commas, then um, the Javas the JavaScript will be reading it as the normal. I mean, there will be no difference. It will be reading it like as I said, the double floating point number, like the decimal number only. Now you can see the stats. See, now it is stored like a double point. Sorry, it is stored like an integer, and the size is 31. That's how it is done. Now, if you want to use nummint or numlong, then we have to store over. store our number in inverted comma only, otherwise you won't work, as JavaScript will treat it as normal, like normal double point value, as I said. Okay, so this is all about this. Now I want to talk about why don't we store all numbers with string? Okay, like why don't we store all the numbers like this in this format? Why we don't use that? I'll be showing you that with an example. First, we will delete it. Oh, sorry, we are making a new database. Company companies got insert one. Insert one valuation parent. Okay, now we are storing it like suppose we want to store a valuation of 5 billion. So there will be 5 followed by 9 zeros. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then I think I have done something wrong. Yeah, I do always forget this. Yeah, acknowledge true. Mhm. Hmm. So we stored like a value of 5 billion, and you can see what is this value. We can see the value is changed, and it's nowhere near the value of our this integer. That's because it is when we are using this number integer command and we are storing the value, it is using only 32-bit space, so which is not enough space uh, to store such a big number. So it is just giving us the highest possible value, I think. So I'll be showing you another example. Like this is done, then inside one now valuation should be like 2 1 4 7 4 8 3 6 4 7. This is the highest valuation that we can store in the number integer value. Okay, now I think, oh sorry. Hmm. You can see that this value is stored here. Okay, now suppose if we increase this value by suppose a single digit like 47048. Now we can see that it is accepted, but when we use this find command, we can see that the negative value is stored here. Its negative value is stored here, so which is not feasible for us. So that's why we can't use this number and like in everything. That's why we can't use this to get, because it will not give us precise values and it will always give us errors, like some error will be there. Now coming to the next part, like also if we store a string, it can be updated. But if we store a number in, sorry, if we store a string, it can be updated. like updating a string, like if we stored an integer as a string, and if we want to increment it, okay, then we will not be able to increment it. And if we stored it as an integer value, like number, integer, number long, then we will be able to increment it. I'll be showing you that with an example. Before that, mm, I'll be showing you one example of number long. Mm, in server valuation number long. So what is number long? It is the 128-bit integer value. Like we can store large values in this. So suppose, uh, yeah, mm, I think it's too much large value. Mm. We can see that it is accepted, and this value is stored here. It is defined by long. What if we use long without without these brackets? It will give us error. Receiving a number is argument depreciated and may lead to loss of precision. Now, as I said that without using the that inverted commas, this inverted commas, JavaScript will treat this as the traditional value only, and it will be not give us. It will not give us a size value. See, it gave us something else, like incremented value by one. I don't know why is that, but yeah, it will not give us a precise value. Now, yeah, now I'll talk about that thing, like if we that we cannot update integer value stored inside a string, but we can update the number into number long value. Like first we have to delete all these things, delete many inside this curly braces, done. Okay. Oh, sorry. No count. We have to do delete many. Hmm. Leave it and make a new collection. db dot a double zero ts accounts dot insert one, name max, the age, any age or amount 10. Okay. So this is our values inserted. Now if we want to update this, db dot counts dot update one, dollar sign increment amount 10. Let's see what happens now. Oh, okay, 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 okay. One more argument. Cannot applying to a value of non-numeric type. You can see it is giving us this warning, right? Because we stored amount as a string here, and then when we are incrementing this, like here, it is showing that It is a non-numeric value and we cannot update it. Increment it. Now, accounts, let me delete this. Yeah. Now, if we insert like the amount as in I said number and UMP a number in hmm, it is to accepted. Now, if we want to update it by 10, we can see matched one, modified one. It is updated. Now, if we want to print it, yes, so find. You can see our value 10 is updated to 20. So that's how we can update a value by using number int. Yeah, so now I am gonna be talking about what's wrong with normal doubles. That is 64 doubles, like the default value that is stored. What's wrong with that? Why we can't store value in that format? Because the reason I will be telling you that the reason is because when we are using the traditional like normal storing method of the integer value or the decimal value, this the value that is stored, it is not is not precise. Suppose I am storing integer a equals to 1, but when I do some operations on it, like so we can we get to know that it is not a precise one, like it is like this or this. Yeah, it is a filler because as I told you that in JavaScript, the, the normal it is not stored as a normal integer value, it is stored as a floating point number, 64-bit. So I'll be talking about that why we can't use 64-bit number and why we should use high precision doubles, that is 128-bit decimal numbers. So I'll be showing you with that an example with an example, a normal small example. EV dot science, suppose a new CIE, suppose a new collection you are making. Let's see, insert one A 0.3 and then B 0.1. Yeah, so we have stored these two values and it will be stored like in a 64-bit normal floating point decimal number. So mm, hmm, you can see that 0.3 0.1 is 2. Now, if we make a like if we use the aggregation framework, yeah, so we are using projection method. Project. What do you want? A result. Let's say result. Subtract operator will be using subtract operator. Suppose you want to subtract a from b, 0.3 from 0.1. Then mm, dollar sign a to get the input from dollar sign a and read it from the document stored value. Then second argument, that is $$b. Okay, let's see now. Oh, sorry, the gate. Why the error is coming? I am not understanding. DB root signs. It should work. DB root sign dot aggregate project. Okay. Now what's the issue, man? It's all right. Mm, mhm. Wait a second, I will. Okay. I get it. I just did a small mistake. Hmm. So you can see here the result. It came like 0.1999999. So it is not precise. Like 0.3 minus 0.1 should be 0.2 exactly. And you can see as the result is not coming as precise. So that's why we can't use the normal like 64-bit floating point integers, decimal numbers. So for that we have to use the 128-bit high precise and double, and I will be showing you with that with an example now. Now db dot now here we will use number decimal ml decimal. Mm-hmm. Here also we'll be using number decimal. You can see it is inserted now. You see 0.13 and 0.1, and it is stored like in decimal 128 bit value. Now, so further we will be using the same like aggregate uh, for this framework and using the same thing. Now, yeah, now we can see that we get a precise 0.2 result. So that's why we can use decimal 128.4 to get the precise values. So that's all about this module. And also, sir, this lookup and populate in the core MongoDB course that I am doing, the lookup and populate, I think it's not there because lookup is in aggregation framework and I have completed the aggregation framework and it is not in the aggregation framework. So it is a different operator as it is operator in aggregation framework only. So um, I'll be learning about that from a different site like from YouTube or some different source. I will learn about that and I will update you with the video like in a few days. Because now in in some days I'll be completing this full course because only like 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 these things are remaining and it is small only 50, 40, 30. 1 hour, like this will take 4 days more. So I will try to do this and then I will go to like populate and look up as well. Thank you, sir.